Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. We are getting ready to welcome 2025.
Yeah,
And I thought it would be the perfect time to really do a deep dive into something practical and helpful.
I like it.
A mindset rebuild for the new year.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And to help us navigate this, we have Rebecca, your expert in well-being and mindset, joining us.
Hey everyone, happy New Year's Eve.
So, Rebecca, we've been looking at some material from intrinsic coach Warren, who
Yes.
really focuses on helping creators and business owners combat burnout
Yes.
and create more peace of mind.
Uh-huh.
You can find more of his work at mindsetrebuild.substack.com.
Yes, definitely.
One of the things that Warren really emphasizes is the importance of ditching those traditional,
Yeah,
often overwhelming New Year's resolutions.
I agree with that.
I think we've all been there,
Oh yeah.
setting these huge, ambitious goals that quickly fizzle out by February.
Yeah, it's such a common experience. We get caught up in the excitement of a fresh start.
Right.
But often I think those resolutions are based on what we think we should be doing, not what truly resonates with us.
It's almost like we're setting ourselves up for failure right from the start.
Exactly. And that's where Warren's concept of the lead domino comes in.
Okay.
Instead of trying to change everything at once,
Right.
he suggests focusing on one small habit, one tiny shift that can create a ripple effect of positive change in other areas of your life.
I like that. So let's unpack this lead domino idea a little bit.
Sure.
What makes it so different from a typical resolution?
Well, I think it's about simplicity and sustainability.
Okay.
Instead of aiming for complete overhaul,
Yeah.
you're identifying that one key habit.
Okay.
Your lead domino that, once established, makes everything else a little bit easier, a little bit smoother.
So it's not about striving for perfection
Right.
or making drastic changes overnight.
Yeah.
It's about finding that one small thing that you can consistently do
Yeah.
that sets a positive chain reaction in motion.
Precisely. And what's fascinating is that this isn't just some motivational fluff. There's actual neuroscience behind it.
Oh, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about the science behind the lead domino.
Well, every time we repeat a behavior, we're strengthening the neural pathways associated with that action in our brains.
Right.
So by consistently practicing our lead domino,
Right.
we're essentially rewiring our brains to make that behavior more automatic.
So it's like building a muscle, but for our minds.
Exactly. And the more we engage in that positive habit, the stronger those neural connections become,
Uh-huh.
and the easier it becomes to stick with it.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's not just about willpower or motivation.
Right.
It's about creating those neural pathways that make positive change feel almost effortless over time.
Right. And this is particularly relevant now as we head into 2025 with all the distractions and demands of modern life.
Yeah, especially for creators and business owners who are constantly bombarded with information and pressure to perform.
Absolutely. Warren points out that in this environment, protecting our focus and mental energy is more crucial than ever.
I see where you're going with this. The lead domino isn't just about forming a good habit.
Yeah.
It's about building that mental resilience, that ability to stay focused and present amidst the chaos.
You got it. It's like creating and anchor something that grounds you and helps you stay on track when everything else around you feels like it's spinning out of control.
So I'm curious, what are some examples of lead dominoes that people can consider as we head into the new year? What kind of small changes can have that ripple effect we're talking about?
Well, there are so many possibilities, and it really depends on the individual and what they're looking to achieve.
Of course, it's got to be personal.
Exactly. But let's brainstorm a few ideas just to get the creative juices flowing.
Okay.
One that often comes up is starting a gratitude practice.
Ooh, I love that one. It's so simple, yet so powerful.
It really is. Taking just a few minutes each day to write down things you're grateful for can shift your perspective, boost your mood, and even improve your sleep.
It's like a little dose of positivity that can ripple out and impact your whole day.
Absolutely. Another one that's often recommended is establishing a morning routine that includes some form of movement.
Interesting. So we're not talking about hitting the gym for an hour every day necessarily.
Not unless that's something you genuinely enjoy and can sustain. It could be something as simple as a 10-minute walk, some stretching, or a quick yoga flow.
I can see how that would be a great lead domino.
Yeah.
It gets your blood flowing, clears your head, and sets you up for a more productive day.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Even just 5 minutes of mindful breathing can make a huge difference.
Now that you mentioned mindfulness, that's another area that could be a powerful lead domino, right?
Absolutely. Incorporating even small moments of mindfulness throughout your day, whether it's Paying attention to your breath, savoring your meals, or simply noticing the sensations in your body can help you feel more grounded and less reactive to stress.
It's like hitting the pause button on autopilot and becoming more present in your life.
Exactly. And the beauty of these lead dominoes is that they're not just about adding more tasks to your to-do list. They're about creating small shifts in your mindset and habits that can have a profound impact on your overall well-being.
It's not about doing more. It's about doing things differently, more intentionally.
Right. And I think that's a really important point, especially for creators and business owners who are often in a go, go, go mode.
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in the hustle and forget to take care of ourselves.
It is. But what if instead of pushing ourselves to the limit, we focused on building these small, sustainable habits that actually nourish our minds and bodies?
That's a great question. It's almost like a paradigm shift, moving from a mindset of scarcity and striving to one of abundance and self-care.
Exactly. And I think that's really what Mindset Rebuild is all about, finding those simple yet powerful strategies that allow us to thrive, not just survive.
So it's not just about the lead domino itself. It's about the bigger picture of creating a life that feels balanced and fulfilling.
Yes, it's about recognizing that our well-being is the foundation for everything else we want to achieve in life.
I love that. Because when we feel good, we're more creative, more productive, more present, and ultimately more successful in all areas of our lives.
Couldn't agree more. It's about making that connection between our inner world and our outer world, recognizing that they're not separate entities.
And that taking care of ourselves is not selfish. It's essential.
It is. It's like putting on your own oxygen mask first before assisting others. You can't pour from an empty cup.
So true.
Mm.
Okay, so we've talked about the science behind the lead domino and brainstormed some examples, but how do we actually go about choosing the right lead domino for us? What are some things people should consider?
That's a great question, and there are a few key things I would suggest keeping in mind.
Okay.
First, think about your values and your overall goals for the year ahead.
Okay.
What are the things that are most important to you? What do you want to prioritize?
So it's about alignment, making sure your lead domino supports the bigger picture of what you want to create in your life.
Exactly. You don't want to choose a habit that feels arbitrary or disconnected from your deeper values.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What else should people keep in mind when choosing their lead domino?
Well, it's important to be realistic and choose something that feels achievable and sustainable.
Okay.
You don't want to set yourself up for failure by choosing a habit that's too big or too demanding.
So it's about starting small and building momentum rather than trying to do everything at once.
Exactly. Choose a habit that you can realistically fit into your daily routine and that you genuinely believe will make a positive difference in your life.
It's about finding that sweet spot between challenge and ease.
Right. And finally, I would say don't be afraid to experiment and adjust as you go.
Okay.
What works for one person may not work for another. The key is to find what feels good for you and to be open to tweaking your lead domino as needed.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's not about being rigid or following some strict formula. It's about finding what works for you and making it your own.
Exactly. And remember, the goal is not perfection, it's progress.
Right?
There will be days when you miss a beat, and that's okay. Just get back on track and keep moving forward.
It's about being kind to ourselves and embracing the journey, not just the destination.
Absolutely. And celebrating those small wins along the way.
I love that. Okay, so we've talked about choosing a lead domino, but
Yeah.
how do we actually make it stick? What are some tips for turning that intention into a lasting habit?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? We can have all the best intentions in the world,
Right.
but actually turning them into lasting habits, that's the tricky part.
It's true, but the good news is there are some proven strategies
Okay.
that can help us bridge that gap between intention and action.
I'm all ears. What are some of those strategies?
One of the most effective techniques is something called habit stacking. Have you heard of that?
I have, but I'd love for you to explain it for our listeners who might not be familiar with it.
Absolutely. Habit stacking is essentially linking your new habit,
Okay.
your lead domino, to an existing habit that you already do consistently.
So it's like piggybacking on an established routine that you already have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For example, if you want to start a gratitude practice, you might decide to write down 3 things you're grateful for right after you brush your teeth every morning. I like that. That's a great example because that's something you're already doing automatically.
Right.
So it becomes a natural cue to trigger that new habit.
Exactly. And the more you do it, the stronger that association becomes in your brain.
So you're essentially rewiring your neural pathways to make the new habit feel like just a natural part of your routine.
Precisely. And another powerful strategy is to make your lead domino as visible as possible.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if you're trying to drink more water, for example, keep a full water bottle on your desk or within easy reach throughout the day.
Oh, so it's about creating those visual reminders that nudge you in the right direction.
Exactly. Out of sight, out of mind, as they say. So make it easy for yourself to stay on track.
Make it easy. Those are great tips. Are there any other strategies that you find particularly helpful?
Accountability can be a game changer.
Okay.
Sharing your lead domino with a friend, family member, or even on social media can help you stay motivated.
I can see how that would work. It's like having a cheerleader in your corner encouraging you to keep going.
Exactly. And it also creates a sense of responsibility knowing that someone else is aware of your goal.
I like that. It's like building a support system around your lead domino.
Exactly. And finally, remember to celebrate your wins no matter how small they may seem.
Yeah, that's so important. It's easy to get caught up in, striving for the next milestone and
Right.
forget to just acknowledge how far we've already come.
It is, but taking the time to appreciate your progress, even if it's just a small step forward, can boost your motivation and keep you inspired to keep going.
It's like giving yourself a little pat on the back and saying, hey, I'm doing this. I'm making progress.
Exactly. And those small celebrations add up over time, creating a positive feedback loop that reinforces the habit.
I love that.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this New Year's Eve deep dive into mindset rebuild,
Yeah.
I want to go back to something you said earlier about aligning your lead domino with your values and goals.
Yes, that's crucial because when you choose a lead domino that truly resonates with you on a deeper level, it becomes more than just a habit. It becomes an expression of who you are and what you want to create in your life.
Yeah, it's like a guiding principle, the touchstone that helps you stay focused on what matters most.
Exactly. And when you're living in alignment with your values, everything else just flows more smoothly.
It's like you're tapping into a source of inner strength and motivation that propels you forward.
You got it. And that's the beauty of the lead domino.
Yeah.
Is it's not just about achieving a specific outcome. It's about cultivating a mindset of intentionality, self-awareness, and growth.
It's about creating a life that feels authentic and fulfilling, both personally and professionally.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Same.
So as we raise a glass to the new year, let's make a toast to the lead domino,
I love it.
to the power of small changes, and to the journey of mindset rebuild.
Cheers to that.
Yeah.
And remember, if you're looking for more guidance and support on this journey, you can find Intrinsic Coach Warren at mindsetrebuild.substack.com. He has a wealth of resources to help you create a calmer, more balanced, and more fulfilling life in 2025 and beyond.
And from both of us, we wish you a happy new year filled with joy, success, and of course, plenty of lead domino moments.
Happy New Year, everyone.